Debarim, Deuteronomy, chapter 17. Do not slaughter to Yahuah your Elohim a bull or sheep which has any blemish, any evil matter, for that is an abomination to Yahuah your Elohim. When there is found in your midst, in any of your cities which Yahuah your Elohim is giving you, a man or a woman who does what is evil in the eyes of Yahuah your Elohim, in transgressing his covenant, and has gone and served other mighty ones and bowed down to them, or to the sun, or to the moon, or to any of the host of the Shamayim, which I have not commanded, and it has been made known to you, and you have heard, and have searched diligently, then see if true the matter is confirmed that such an abomination has been done in Israel, then you shall bring out to your gates that man or woman who has done this evil matter, and you shall stone to death that man or woman with stones. At the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall he that is to die be put to death. He is not put to death by the mouth of 1 witness. The hand of the witnesses shall be first against him to put him to death, and the hand of all the people last. So you shall purge the evil from your midst. When any matter arises which is too hard for you to judge, between blood and blood, between plea and plea, or between stroke and stroke, matters of strife within your gates, then you shall rise and go up to the place which Yahuah your Elohim chooses, and shall come to the Kohanim, the Levites, and to the judge who is in those days, and shall inquire. And they shall declare to you the word of right ruling, and you shall do according to the word which they declare to you from that place which Yahuah chooses. And you shall guard to do according to all that they instruct you. Do according to the Torah in which they teach you, according to the right ruling which they say to you. You do not turn to the right or to the left from the word which they declare to you. And the man who acts arrogantly so as not to listen to the Kohen who stands to serve there before Yahuah your Elohim, or to the judge, that man shall die. So you shall purge the evil from Yisrael. And let all the people hear and revere, and no longer do arrogantly. When you come to the land which Yahuah your Elohim is giving you, and shall possess it, and shall dwell in it, and you shall say, let me appoint a sovereign over me, like all the Gentiles that are around me. You shall certainly appoint a sovereign over you, whom Yahuah your Elohim shall choose. Appoint a sovereign over you from among your brothers. You are not allowed to appoint a foreigner over you, who is not your brother. Only he is not to increase horses for himself, nor cause the people to return to Mitzrayim to increase horses. For Yahuah has said to you, do not return that way again. And he is not to increase wives for himself, lest his heart turn away, nor is he to greatly increase silver and gold for himself. And it shall be when he sits on the throne of his reign, that he shall write for himself a copy of this Torah in a book from the one before the Kohanim, the Levites. And it shall be with him, and he shall read it all the days of his life, so that he learns to revere Yahuah his Elohim, and guard all the words of this Torah and these laws, to do them, so that his heart is not lifted up above his brothers, and so as not to turn aside from the covenant right or left, so that he prolongs his days in his reign, he and his children, in the midst of Yisrael. Devarim, Deuteronomy, chapter 18. The Kohanim, the Levites, all the tribe of Levi, have no part nor inheritance with Yisrael. They are to eat the offerings of Yahuah made by fire, and his inheritance. But among his brothers, no inheritance. Yahuah is his inheritance, as he has spoken to him. And this is the Kohen's right from the people, From those who bring an offering, whether it is bull or sheep, they shall give to the Kohen the shoulder, and the 2 cheeks, and the stomach, the first fruits of your grain, and your new wine, and your oil, and the first of the fleece of your sheep you give to him. For Yahuah your Elohim has chosen him out of all your tribes to stand to serve in the name of Yahuah, him and his sons forever. And when the Levite comes from one of your gates, from where he has sojourned among all Yisrael, and shall come with all the desire of his being to the place which Yahuah chooses, then he shall serve in the name of Yahuah his Elohim, like all his brothers the Levites who are standing there before Yahuah. They are to have portion for portion to eat, besides what comes from the sale of his inheritance. When you come into the land which Yahuah your Elohim is giving you, do not learn to do according to the abominations of those Gentiles. Let no one be found among you who makes his son or his daughter pass through the fire, or one who practices divination, or a user of magic, or one who interprets omens, or a sorcerer, or one who conjures spells, or a medium, or a spiritist, or one who calls up the dead. For whoever does these are an abomination to Yahuah, and because of these abominations, Yahuah your Elohim drives them out from before you. Be perfect before Yahuah your Elohim. For these nations whom you are dispossessing listen to those using magic and to diviners. But as for you, Yahuah your Elohim has not appointed such for you. Yahuah your Elohim shall raise up for you a Nevi like me from your midst, from your brothers. Listen to him, according to all you asked of Yahuah your Elohim in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of Yahuah my Elohim, nor let me see this great fire any more, lest I die. And Yahuah said to me, what they have spoken is good. I shall raise up for them a Nebi like you out of the midst of their brothers, and I shall put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak to them all that I command him. And it shall be the man who does not listen to my words, which he speaks in my name, I require it of him. But the Nebi who presumes to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or who speaks in the name of other mighty ones, even that Nebi shall die. And when you say in your heart, how do we know the word which Yahuah has not spoken? When the Nebi speaks in the name of Yahuah, and the word is not or comes not, that is the word which Yahuah has not spoken. The Nebi has spoken it presumptuously. Do not be afraid of him. Debarim, Deuteronomy chapter 19. When Yahuah your Elohim cuts off the nations whose land Yahuah your Elohim is giving you, and you dispossess them and dwell in their cities and in their houses, separate 3 cities for yourself in the midst of your land, which Yahuah your Elohim is giving you to possess. Prepare a way for yourself, and divide into 3 parts the border of your land, which Yahuah your Elohim is giving you to inherit, that anyone who killed someone shall flee there. And this is the matter of the one who killed someone who flees there and live. He who smites his neighbor unintentionally, not having hated him in time past, even he who goes to the forest with his neighbor to cut timber, and his hand swings a stroke with the axe to cut down the tree, and the head slips from the handle and strikes his neighbor so that he dies, let him flee to one of these cities and live, lest the revenger of blood, while his displeasure is hot, pursue the one who killed someone and overtake him, because the way is long, and shall smite him, though he was not worthy of death, since he had not hated him before. Therefore I am commanding you, saying, separate 3 cities for yourself. And if Yahuah your Elohim enlarges your border, as he swore to your fathers, and has given you the land which he promised to give to your fathers, When you guard all this command to do it, which I am commanding you today, to love Yahweh your Elohim and to walk in his ways all the days, then you shall add 3 more cities for yourself besides these 3, so that innocent blood is not shed in the midst of your land, which Yahweh your Elohim is giving you as an inheritance, or blood guilt shall be upon you. But when anyone hates his neighbor and shall lie in wait for him and rise against him and smite the life from him so that he dies, then he shall flee to one of these cities, and the elders of his city shall send and bring him from there and give him into the hand of the revenger of blood, and he shall die. Your eye shall not pardon him, but you shall purge the blood of the innocent from Yisrael, so that it might be well with you. Do not remove your neighbor's boundary, which those in the past have bound, in your inheritance which you inherit in the land that Yahweh your Elohim is giving you to possess. 1 witness does not rise up against a man concerning any wickedness or any sin that he commits. At the mouth of 2 witnesses or at the mouth of 3 witnesses a matter is established. When a malicious witness rises up against any man to accuse him of turning aside, then both men who have the dispute shall stand before Yahuah, before the Kohanim, and the judges who serve in those days. And the judges shall diligently search and see if the witness is a false witness who has falsely accused his brother. Then you shall do to him as he thought to have done to his brother. Thus you shall purge the evil from your midst. And let the rest hear and revere, and never again do this evil matter in your midst. And let your eye not pardon, life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. Debarim, Deuteronomy chapter 20. When you go out to battle against your enemies and shall see horses and chariots and people more numerous than you, do not be afraid of them, for Yahweh your Elohim, who brought you up from the land of Mitzrayim, is with you. And it shall be when you draw near to the battle that the Kohen shall come and speak to the people and shall say to them, Hear, O Yisrael, you are drawing near today to battle with your enemies. Do not let your heart faint. Do not fear or tremble or be afraid before them, for Yahweh your Elohim is he who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies, to save you. And the officers shall speak to the people, saying, Who is the man who has built a new house and has not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man dedicate it. And who is the man who has planted a vineyard and has not begun to use it? Let him also go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man should begin to use it. And who is the man who is engaged to a woman and has not taken her? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man take her. And the officers shall speak further to the people and say, Who is the man who is afraid and tender of heart? Let him go and return to his house, lest the heart of his brothers faint like his heart. And it shall be, when the officers have finished speaking to the people, that they shall appoint commanders of the divisions to lead the people. When you draw near to a city to fight against it, then you shall make a call for peace to it. And it shall be that if it accepts your call for peace, and shall open to you, then all the people found in it are to be your compulsory labor and serve you. But if it does not make peace with you, and shall fight against you, then you shall besiege it, and Yahweh your Elohim shall give it into your hands, and you shall smite every male in it with the edge of the sword. Only the women and the little ones and the livestock and all that is in the city, all its spoil you take as plunder for yourself, and you shall eat the enemy's plunder which Yahweh your Elohim gives you. Do so to all the cities which are very far from you, which are not of the cities of these nations, only of the cities of these peoples which Yahweh your Elohim gives you as an inheritance. You do not keep alive any that breathe, but you shall certainly put them under the ban. the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, as Yahweh your Elohim has commanded you, lest they teach you to do according to all their abominations which they have done for their mighty ones, and you sin against Yahweh your Elohim. When you besiege a city for a long time by fighting against it to take it, you do not destroy its trees by wielding an axe against them. If you do eat of them, do not cut them down. For is the tree of the field a man to be besieged by you? Only the trees which you know are not trees for food, you do destroy and cut down to build siege works against the city that is fighting against you until it falls.